السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. ما بعد. So 19th question, there's no 18th question. I think there's a misprint. So after 17, we have 18 and 19. It's the same question, okay? ما وزن الكلمات الآتية؟ استفهم، آصال، داع، أدعو، اضطر، محيص، لم يصم، تحية، ركبة، عد، عيسى. So it's talking about wazn. So like, for example, right, what is the pattern of ذهب? ذهب, so you say فعل, correct? So similarly, we have to uh, tell the awzan of all these words. Some are verbs, some are nouns. Let's see how he answers. إذا أردنا أن نزن أي كلمة لا بد من تحديد الحروف الأصلية وحروف حروف الزائدة. So it says if you want to weigh any word, نزن أي كلمة, any word لا بد من تحديد الحروف الأصلية. So what you should do, we should specify the root letters والحروف الزائدة as well as the extra letters and the extra letters. وما زاد عن الأصل يزاد في الميزان وما ورد من الحروف مضاعفا يضاعف عند الوزن. And whatever increase in the original letters, the letters will be increased in the mizan. So mizan is the scale, right? Like fa'ala, fa'ala, yufa'ilu, right? Maf'al, mif'al, whatever, that's the scale. So if there's any extra letters, then you increase them in the extra letters. And whatever is double, muda'afan, whatever huruf letters are double, so you will double them in the وزن also. For example, وما حدث فيه قلب مكاني يحدث نفس القلب عند الوزن. So if there's a qalb makani, what is qalb makani? Well, the middle letter goes at the end, or the end letter becomes first, or whatever. There's change in places, right? Change in places of the letters. Then you do the same in the awzan. For example, istafhama, istafhama. So what is the root letter for that? Istaf'ala asluha fahima. Istafhama asluha fahima. The root letters what? Fa, ha, and mim. Wazidatil hamzatu was-sinu wat-ta. Correct. And hamza and sin and ta are added to it. Right? Hamza was sin wa ta. So the root letters were hamza, sin, and ta. So it's on the pattern of what? Istaf'ala. Istaf'ala. How did we know that? Well, fa, there was ha and mim, right? These three were the root letters. Then you added alif, sin, ta. So these are called what? Fa kalima, ain kalima, and lam kalima. Right? Because fa is called the first root letter, ha is called the ain, ain kalima, that's the second root letter, and mim here is called the lam. So fa, ain, lam. So anything you have to fit on the fa, ain, lam, right? Fa'ala pattern. So these are the root letters. So we added alif, sin, ta to it. So istaf'ala, right? Istaf'ala. So if anyone asks, make fahima into istaf'ala pattern, you can make it easily. Istafhama. Istafhama. Just replace the root letters fa, ain, and lam. Right? This is the wazn. Wazn is what? Istaf'ala. So that's the answer. First one. Asal. Asal. So what is the root letter here? Hamza. Alif cannot be the root letter anytime. Huh? Sad and lam. Af'al. It's on the pattern of af'al. So why? How did you get that? We looked at the root letters. Hamza, Sad, and lam. So asluha asl. Right? It's asl is asl. Wazidatil hamzatul ula wal alif rabi'a. Oh, asal. Oh, this is mad. Asal. Okay. So here he says the root letters are Hamza, Sad, and Lam. What we did was we added Hamza in the beginning. So two Hamzas came. And then after Sad, there was another Hamza. So it became Asal. Asal. And then when two Hamzas come, they become like a mad. Asal. 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 Okay. So that's how we find the root letters. Asal. So if you go to the dictionary, you have to search for Hamza, Sad, and Lam. right? Hamza, Sad, and Lam. Okay. And then you'll get Asal meaning. Asal is original. Same like Asl, Asal, I think. Hmm. Asula ya Asula ya Asulu. Firmly rooted. But we want Asal. Asl is root. Asli, Usuli, Asil, Asala. I cannot find Asal, but it's the same meaning, I guess. In hands were Asal. Originals. Late afternoons, yeah. It comes in the Quran. No, Asal is late afternoons. Asal. Evenings, Asal. Bukratan wa Asila. Same thing, no, Asila. Okay, Da'in. Da'in. So it's on the pattern of Fa'in. So how did you form this Fa'in pattern? Correct? So if you know the verb is Asluhu Da'a. Da'a. Da'in Asluhu Da'a. So this is Da'a. Now it was formed as Da'in. Where did the Ya go? So he says فَحُذِفَتْ لَامُ الْكَلِمَةِ وَزِيدَةُ الْأَلِفِ الثَّانِيَةِ. Da'in, because we should know this is Naqis. So you drop the. So let's write da'a first. Fa'ala. Fa'ala. So you drop the ya. So lam kalima is gone. And then alif is added in between. So the pattern is what? Fa'in. Fa'in. Right? How did we find fa'in? Because dal, after that alif. So dal is fa kalima. And then we have an alif here. And this is the alif. And ain. Ain is ain kalima anyways. So pattern is fa'in. Fa'in. Okay. So the ain is on the pattern of ain because there's no lam at all. The lam is dropped. Ud'u. So again, the root letters are what? Da, ain, and lam. So we can write ud'u also. Ud'u. This is amr, right? So what we did here? Ud'u. We ud'u. We drop the ya. So ain kalima is gone. I mean, yeah. We should write it separately. Da, da, and write fa, ain, and lam. And it became what? Ud'u. Ud'u. So you cannot see the ya here, no? So this is dropped. And then udu'u. So you added a hamza before to make it this. So uf'u. The pattern is what? Uf'u. This is pattern from da'a. Fahudifat lamul kalima. The lam is dropped. That is the last letter is dropped. Wazidatil aliful ula. And alif is ula is added. So the pattern is uf'u. What helps you to identify this pattern is what are the root letters. Now, if you want to go to the dictionary, if you don't know that this is ufu, you might search for alif, dal, and ain in the dictionary, which are not the root letters. No, you should know that it came from dal, ain, and ya. Like that. And then ittarra. So here you should know a rule that this is form 8 and the tafkhim, the letters ta became ta. Hmm? It is on the pattern of ifta'ala. So what are the root letters? Asluha idtarara. The root letters were actually dad, ra, and ra. So you want to make it form 8. So form 8, what you do? You add a halif before it and then ta after the first letter. Alif before and ta after the first letter. Ittara. Ittarara. You do join, it become ittara. And then the rule applies. The rule is what? Dad, sad, ta, ra. If the first letter is these four, right? Among these four, then this ta of form 8 ta will change into a ta. Because Arabs found it difficult to say idtarra. So they made it idtarra. Idtarra. So what pattern is ittara? This is on the pattern of ifta'ala. Because this is a change from ta to tha will not be considered in the wazn. This will not be. So it is all, you'll not say ifta'ala. And we had a question for that these won't be changed into ifta'ala. That these, I'll tell you the question number also. Like we did 16 questions till now, right? I think I'll be able to find excluded from Mizan Safi. Yeah. Question 12. Question 12. There are some exclusions in Mizan Safi. This is one of them. Like you won't say, okay, ta, you won't bring them. You say the pattern is same as ifta'ala. You say the patterns are still ifta'ala. Okay. Then we have mahis. So the root letters what is never meme. Meme, I mean not never, but whenever the pattern is muf or muf, it's not a root letter. So it's ha, ya, and sad. So what is the pattern this is? This is maf'al pattern. Fazidatil mimul ula. So meme has been added in the beginning. Meme has been added in the beginning. So it became what? Mahis. Mahisun. Mahisun. So you might be like maf'al or maf'il actually. Maf'il, correct? This was the pattern, but why did mahis? Because ya got a sukun. That's the rule. If the root letters, I mean waw or ya has fathatama kasra, mutaharrik, then it'll change. And the previous letter has a sukun, maf'il. So literally, this had a kasra and this had a sukun. Right? إذا حركت حذف العلة, if واو يا has حركة and ما قبله سكون صحيح سكون, there's a letter which is more capable, more stronger to take this kasra, then this kasra will transfer here. This kasra will transfer here. This kasra will transfer here. Okay. So it became maf'il pattern. This is on the pattern of maf'il. Lam yasum. So you should know the root letters sad, waw, and mim. How do you know? You'll go to the verb sama yasumu, sad, waw. Lam yaf'al, lam yaful. Lam yasul became lam yaful. What is this pattern? Lam yaful. Asluha sawmun. Fahudifatil waw thaniyati. So the root letter, this waw was deleted. So there's no fa'in. There's no ain kalima at all. Wazidatil ya'ul ula. The this ya is added because this is the verb ya, no? Mudare, powerful mudare. So the root letters are sad, waw, and mim. You want to make it on a verb yasumu. It was yasumu. And then you dropped it. Lam yasum. Because when lam comes, you drop the weak letter. Lam yasum. So sad is fa kalima. Lam. Ya is remain same. Fa kalima. Lam yaful. Lam yaful. So the pattern is what? Lam yaful. Lam yaful. Lam yasum. Lam yaful. Then you have tahiyya. Tahiyya. This you should know. Tahiyya is on the pattern of taf'ila. Why? Because the root letters is not ta here. This is not a root letter. This ta is also not a root letter. So we are left with ha and two yas. Because on the pattern of taf'ila, taf'ilatun, tahiyyatun, taf'ilatun, tahiyyatun. Asluha hay or hayya. Zidatit ta'ul ula. So we added to these root letters, we added ta of the first in the beginning, but ta'ul akhirati and the ta in the end. Okay. Rukbatun. Rukba ulfatun. Now asluha barakatun min al-fi'l barika. Or baraka yabruku. Wazidatit ta'ul akhirati. Wahuditha. Now in this one, you might think the root letters are ra, kaf, and ba. So if you go to Answer and search for ra, kaf, and ba, right, rakiba, you should. So you might think it's from ruk, rakiba, ra, kaf, and ba. Right, rukba. Yeah, even if you search, I mean, rukba in a knee, even if you search by ra, kaf, and ba, you'll find it in handswear, because that's the benefit of having handswear, because he understood people might not know there's qalb makani here. Hmm? So if I search in ra kafin ba, I'm finding rukbah. That is a knee. But the people who know, they know that there's a change here. It came from ulfa. So the root letters were actually ba, ra, kaf. So fa, ain, and lam. So what happened? Ra came first. Ra came first, and even lam came. So ra came first. So it became ain. That is ruk ba. Mhm. Ruk ba. So what is ra? Ra is what? Ra is ain, right? Ain, and kaf was what? Even lam came first. So ul, and then fa, ulfa. Right? This is how it was formed. Ulfa. But how would you know? You won't know. Qalb makani is very difficult, like we saw last time. There are some ways, but these are very rare anyways. Changing of places and location. And even if you don't know this rule in handswear, you will be able to find, what do you say, with this. Just if you search raw, kaf, and ba, you'll find. Mm, correct? If you search by baraka ibruku is to kneel down. Baraka ibruku. Okay, and this qalb makani. So the two letters, last two letters, they came first. Ud. Ud. It's on the pattern of ul. Because you should know wa'ada ya'idu. This is from wa'ada. Or id, I think. Wa'ada ya'idu is id. This should be with a kasra. Id. فحذفت الواو الأولى. So the wow in the starting is gone. And this will learn when you're learning mithal. Mithal, you learn all these things. That this is gone. So il. So the wow is fa kalima, right? So there's no fa kalima in the wazn. And Aisa is on the pattern of afila. And we talked about in qalb makani, the actual root letters are ya, hamza, sin. So there are some words you can remember like rukba here and Aisa here. There's qalb makani. That means the letters have been changed. So second letters have become first, first has become second, and all that. So how did it become afila, Aisa? Well, the root letters were ya, hamza, and sin. Correct. So this is fa, ain, and lam, right? So the hamza guy, it went first. So it became Isa. Isa. So it is ain came first, right? Because hamza is ain, right? Hamza is ain, and then ya is what, fa, and then sin. Sin is what, lam. So afila. The root letters were changed, and this qalb makani. So the fa kalima became second, because fa kalima should be first, right? Fa, ain, and lam. But ain came first, so this is on the pattern of afila. So what does this help practically speaking? This helps you to find the root letters. Like the ain, you should know this is naqis, and the ismul fa'il is always like that. Fa'il, like qada yaqdi, is to judge. I want to make a verb, a noun, ismul fa'il, the noun of the doer. So this is naqis, so it's always qadin. Qadin. Now, if you see this word qadin, you might think that the root letters is qaf, alif, and dad. But alif is never. Or qaf, waw, and dad. But this is not, because these two kasras give it away. Qadin. That this is naqis. So something has been dropped at the end. So the root letter is what? Qaf, dad, and ya. So practically, if you know these rules, like ittara also, you might think the root letters dad, ta, and ra. No. It is dot ta, and I mean, sorry, there's no ta at all. Dot ra ra is the root letter. So if you're searching the dictionary, you should know this rule, that this has happened here. Okay, and so on. For that, I would recommend doing all the lessons of Madina books, right? If you're not done Madina books, these will become very difficult. Like we have a whole lesson for this, for Form 8. You can check Form 8, and for Naqis also. So you need a lot of practice to be able to do that. Inshallah ta'ala. Jazakallahu khairan, barakallahu feekum, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.